Chill Rob G in the place to be. Okay, I apologize for my last video. After watching it and reviewing it, I realized that I said the word virtually about 50,000 times. So if I say it again in this video, it's Karate Kid season 2017, and this is episode 5, first day of school. It is September 12th, 2017, and on this day in the story of the movie Karate Kid, this is the day after the famous or infamous Adios to Summer beach party where Daniel got his butt kicked, and this very next day he gets up and he has to go to school. First day of school in Southern California. But I love this scene because it starts off in the morning with Lucille making breakfast for her son Daniel, and Daniel's in a hurry to get out the door because he's concealing his black eye with his sunglasses. And as he runs out the door, the mom kind of accuses him of maybe being on something and wants him to take off the glasses. She says she wants to see the baby browns, and Daniel's like, "Mom, come on with the baby browns." And she basically puts her finger down and says, "No, take off the glasses." And there's that black eye. And I love Randy Heller in this scene as she plays Lucille Larusso. As she sees the black eye, she gets up from the table with the "oh my God" and the concern. She's just so cute, asking her son if he's okay, if it hurts. Don't touch it, it's going to make it worse. Does he want to stay home from school? And kisses his mom, and he's out the door. Then they show Daniel on his bike, and he's cruising to his high school to the incredible sounds of Bananarama and their song "Cruel Summer." Such a defining song for the 80s, a classic that I still listen to today. But Daniel makes his way on his bicycle, his Miyagi Turbo, and locks it up. And he starts walking through the hallway trying to familiarize himself with his new surroundings. And as he's looking around, he sees Johnny and his crew, the Cobra Kai, before school hanging out by their motorcycles and very unsure what would take place for the rest of the school year. But they zoom in on that plaque, truth, liberty, and toleration. More on that in a second. Get to the end of the school day, and it's the soccer tryouts after school out on the ball fields. Daniel, again, is there, and he tries to say what's up to Freddy Fernandez and his crew. And those guys, all they do is ridicule him and make fun of him, saying that he's the Karate Kid, and he sure knows how to get his butt kicked. And they ditch him once again. But it's just at that time that Allie finds him and thanks him for standing up to Johnny, apologizing that he had to go through what he had to go through and get that black eye. And they have this great conversation. So it's kind of funny how Allie grabs the soccer ball from him and she proceeds to juggle like as if she went home that night from the beach party and had time to practice. But the cheerleader coach calls Allie over. There's that scene where Daniel says, "Hey, you got a name?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's Allie with an I." And she says, "Hey, what's your name?" And he says, "Daniel with an L." And they have a little laugh about it, and she goes off. And as she walks away, he's looking at her, and he's just saying, "Definitely." So while Daniel is out there on that field juggling the soccer ball himself, the Cobra Kai can be seen in the background, devising a plan to just make this kid's life even more miserable on his first day of school. The whistle blows and they're starting to play soccer, and as Daniel's kicking the ball downfield, they're taunting him, and it's Bobby of the Cobra Kai who trips Daniel on purpose and says, "Hey, did you have a nice trip?" So Daniel defends himself. He jumps on top of Bobby and he punches him, and they set him up and they say, "Coach, look what he's doing to Bobby." Coach grabs him, pulls him off, and says, "Hey, there's no place on this team for that kind of crap. Get out of here." And Daniel walks away saying, "Man, this school sucks, man. This school sucks." And they're mocking him as he walks off the field. But there he goes back to the locker room, just in utter disgust. And all this time, Allie is looking on and just really can't believe how dirty he was done. But this was his introduction to high school. Couple of things about this day in the movie. Really cool thing about this high school is that it wasn't a high school at all. The school that they chose to use for filming was Charles Evans Hughes Junior High School. And if you ever want to go by and visit it, the address is 5607 Capistrano Avenue in Reseda, California. But on our pilgrimage, we found that it's no longer a junior high school, but it's actually an adult learning center. And as we were on campus and exploring, we ran into one of the teachers, one of the staff, and she was so nice. And she gave us kind of a tour and showed us some of the locations that were used in the film. This first stop, you see I'm walking down the hallway, and in this next pic we see this teacher who was kind enough to show us around, but she's there with the plaque, and she helped us to pinpoint this location. The plaque that in the beginning of the movie they zoom in on, this building dedicated to truth, liberty, and toleration by the native sons of the Golden West, dedicated April 18th, 1969. As you can see in my pictures, there's corrosion or tarnishing that has taken place on this plaque and oxidation. But you can, if you look closely, you can also see that some of the drip marks that were on the plaque in 1983 are still clearly visible in 2013 when this picture was taken. Next up, you see some pictures of Kelly and I walking through the halls of the school. What was really cool as a kid growing up in Colorado is seeing a high school in Southern California where the hallways are actually outside, breezeways if you will. And then this next shot, you'll see the spot on the sidewalk where the Cobra Kai's motorcycles were parked and where Johnny and his crew were checking themselves out in the mirror and just hanging out like they were big shots on campus. But the next scenes are from the back of the school as we drove around back and we were able to see the playing fields. You can see the soccer fields, baseball fields, but you can pretty much match up from these pictures where the action was taking place. We'll have a little bit more on this school in episodes to come, so stay tuned for that. So anyway, we're going to keep this one short and sweet today. Hope you're enjoying these Karate Kid season episodes. If you do, I want to invite you to hit that like button. Why don't you leave me a comment? I'd love to read your comments and reply to them. Share this video, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more. Anyway, thanks for watching. Rob G out.